You know, am I the only one who thinks that this is gonna be very easy for hackers? Because nobody is going to need to change their password. So, like, wouldn't this just be like a really bad idea? I mean, it's a great idea, but I think it's a bad idea. But whatever. I feel like if I play Senna, it would just be a bad idea. But at the same time, I kind of just want to do it. I was gonna help support, but I felt like it might trigger someone, so I felt like it probably wouldn't be a good idea. I fucking hate car mode. There's some really good K-pop songs. There's some really bad K-pop songs. My favorite is to go to hip hop. I think Black Girl Magic is pretty good sometimes. Sometimes, not always. Internet, ugh. Internet people is like, you know, ooh, Mind Right is good sometimes too. Ooh, ooh, jazz rap. What is this? This sounds good already. All right, where's my R&B? Chinese hip hop. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, they can have that. I'm perfectly happy with what I get. Cali Fire. Ew, technically it's New York Fire, but I guess. I guess we can take that. I honestly think, um, I honestly think New York rap music is actually way better than California's, but whatever makes you guys happy. R and B is my favorite. Here, I'll post it on Face, Twitter, book, Twitter. No, chilled R&B is just way too chill. I'll, I'll have that type of chill. Yeah, and some of these are like that, and I really don't like that. Mind right. Nobody home. I would be willing to get flagged just so I can play this. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Okay, you guys don't know how to do it. A for effort. Agreed. Woohoo! Yep. Oh, I gotta sound to my Starbucks Spotify. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you. These are Walmart curtains, guys. Have mercy. Technically, it should flag me. This is probably my first time paying for it. Nope.
Grandma some of your shit.
Huh?
Grandma some of your shit.
Okay. Right? Still didn't fix that. Oh man. Okay. I'm okay with it. I love it. I'm done. Not complaining here. Thank you. What a piece of shit! Hey, 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 hey! I just got back. You got what? Thank you, awesome ADC. I like people I can talk video games with. Hmm. I come juice. I'm just checking it's not expired. fuck was that? You guys are really dying to know, huh? Maybe we'll just say it and just like. I think the only song that's gonna get flagged is the J. Cole song. I don't think anything else is gonna get flagged. But anyways, so okay, um, what did I mean by that? So let me see if I can find. I like to have like talking material because that's good public speaking. Because bad public speakers always have like a shit ton of slides and like either have a shit ton of slides or no slides at all. Thank you. And then or they'll just have like a bunch of words and like no pictures. So it's like what? I don't know what I'm looking at. But I mean, it's just a really boring company to work for because I mean, if you really consider how their government works versus how their company works, it's really hard to work for them considering what kind of person I am, you know? And it's not that bad. I understand it's like that aspect, but yeah, I don't know how the fuck that would work for me. All right, anyways, it's not stability, it's more of it's like luxury and comfort and like safety, but then honestly there's so many other ways to just like have luxury and comfort without doing those things that it's just like something that I just think like is redundant. You know, like does redundant mean? It's like really repetitive in a very useless way. That's pretty much what redundant means. You know? So anyways, uh thank you. Starbucks. Let's see. Okay. Um sniffing coffee. Oh god, it's not supposed to be funny, but normal human range. Ooh, I'm definitely out the normal human range. Alright, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at my company, but that's, that's no longer the case anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so the reason why I wanted to bring this up is I actually have to keep it playing or else it's gonna disconnect from the Bluetooth. Thank you. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because unless you are a surgeon, lawyer, or a programmer, I want to say a programmer would have to kind of like think outside the box because if you think about it, like unless you're a surgeon dealing with a tumor you have never seen before, like house, you know, then technically you should always follow the coffee routine. Like you should never ever ever go outside of this routine. Like you should always do the same exact thing as what you are supposed to do. So if every single day, every single thing you do is exactly the same thing as what you're supposed to do and you are not innovating, then technically you are no smarter than a minimum wage worker because you literally cannot think outside the box and you are actually incapable of doing so even though you have a master's degree. So can you kind of see, well, actually considering my aspect from Foxconn and like all this stuff in esports, I have no interest in fighting 99% of the customers since you guys want to call yourself the rich 1%. So technically I'm not really saying anything wrong here when I say they are the 99% of the people or 99% of the customers because you kept saying that you're the 1% that's super fucking rich, right? So okay, let's go with that. You're the 1% that's super fucking rich, right? But yet you're doing pretty much what the rest of the 99% is doing. So I mean, when they kind of say, "Oh yeah, Foxconn is not any better," all these people are not any better. Like, I want their business, so I'm not gonna be like, "Yeah, no, you're definitely like, no, they're not that fucking stupid, right?" I mean, you can hide it all you fucking want, but we all see it on C-SPAN, so there's no fucking denying that, right? Unless you want to tell them that what they're seeing is wrong because they're fucking blind for some reason, but then that's kind of what created all the protests because they're like, now you're trying to brainwash us and try to change what we actually see already happening. Thank you. So that's kind of why they want to boycott your companies because if you think about it, Apple is kind of just copying everybody and being like, yeah, we deserve money. And they're like, no, it's fraud because, first of all, you put my black brother in jail for this. So why are you not in jail? And if we see you doing cocaine, then why are we going to jail for cocaine? And then all the Mexicans are like, well, I know you're smoking crack cocaine just like Rob Ford, so why am I going to jail and you're not going to jail? So now you have the Mexicans being like, we fucking see you, and then you have the black people being like, we can fucking see you. And then now you're suing the Asians because you cannot come up with anything. So, I mean, I feel like the whole entire world fucking hates you right now. And yet you want to tell me that you are smarter than all of us, even though you are literally just doing this every single fucking day, and then you're telling me you deserve $100,000 while we only deserve 15. Like, no offense, but I don't even know how to argue that. You know what I mean? Because almost pretty much every day, you guys are like, wake up, go to work, don't do shit at work for like 8 hours, and they get paid for 8 hours while we're all doing this and we're handling customer service, which is different every single fucking day. Like, you have to understand every single person is different, right? So if I handle this person the same way as I handle that person, like I will get fired because not everybody wants to be dealt with the same way. Is that going to make sense? And on an international scale, the reason why so many people like Starbucks is because, first of all, there's a brand, right? And I think there's actually a disconnect because there's the people who understand Starbucks on an international scale, they would come to Starbucks. And then there's kind of the people that are like, oh, Phil's Coffee and Blue Bottle. And I was actually talking to a customer today. I was like, I actually got a job offer from Phil's Coffee and Blue Bottle. I mean, I never followed up with Phil's Coffee, which is kind of my fault because whenever you have a job interview, after a job interview, you're supposed to follow up. And unless they tell you that they are not interested in you, you should always follow up so you can get the job. You should never just expect them to call you because that's not how working or getting hired works. You got to communicate with them. It's the same way as getting into college. Thank you. You have to communicate with the campus, and you have to communicate with the counselors. You have to communicate with the local administration. All of that. I actually know how to get into school. I just don't bother because I feel like I if I did go to school, then people would be like, "Oh yeah, well Christine did," and then you can't say shit because you're part of us. And I'm like, okay, well if that's really the case, then I'll do it another way, which is not breaking any federal regulations or any laws or any societal things while cutting off the people that we all fucking hate. Anyways, so like I was saying, oh yeah, Blue Bottle, thank you. The reason why I did not want to work for Blue Bottle or Phil's Coffee is, first of all, these two are very like chic or brand new and stuff, but I've worked for enough small businesses to realize this actually has a lot to do with League of Legends, because if you think about League of Legends and how they actually have a huge problem trying to get rid of useless employees and how they're actually incapable of doing so, what I have noticed is what Riot Games and a lot of these companies do is they will always have, thank you. See, this is why I love Google, because I don't even know what the fuck it's called, but they know what I'm talking about. So this is what Riot usually does. Riot will usually always have, like, say the art department has this one person they want to fucking get rid of, or if they have a 3D character artist person that they really want to fucking get rid of, they'll keep hiring new people. And that's kind of why I'm doing this, because I'm like, honestly, like the amount of like innovative ideas and innovative work and the amount of teamwork, thank you, that I actually have to do, because you have to understand, in a Starbucks environment, like, I cannot make anybody my bitch, you know? Then that means I have to make the coffee myself, I have to do the register myself, and then I have to do the baking and cooking myself. Like, that is just literally impossible for me to do. Like, when there's a line, thank you, that's just impossible for me to do. And that's why these people actually lack any type of teamwork, because the only teamwork you would have to do is just amongst your friends, and then there's the people who are actually obviously useless, and then they're like, oh, they're so elitist. So, like I said, let's go about it a different way. Instead of having this, oh, you're so rich and I'm just the victim. Look at all these rich people who have rich parents. It's so unfair. Oh, this person's flirting with the CEO. Okay, you know what? Enough with that. And then I actually heard from my manager that someone actually got fired from corporate because they look at the cameras, and like for us, people like me who is brand new, I actually prefer that, because I would want corporate to see that I never broke the rules, even if my manager is like, oh, she won't suck my dick, so I'm just gonna try and get her fucking fired. Or if a manager was like, hey, I don't appreciate how you're not fucking flirting with me, because, when you're at an hourly wage job, this is why I only want female managers, and this is why I want Starbucks corporate watching, is because there's a lot of times where, like, I've been fired from Jamba Juice because I refuse to smoke weed with my manager. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? But Jamba Juice doesn't give a fuck about like watching their cameras or any of that shit. They don't give a fuck about that. So obviously, I'm gonna get fired, even though it has nothing to do with me. So when I heard that from my female manager, I was like, wow, that is like, I actually feel safe doing what I'm supposed to be doing, even though, like, say my manager's not doing it, and then making like, does that kind of make sense? And Starbucks actually has this thing where you can move from a barista to a corporate job. If you guys didn't know this, in our Starbucks thing, we actually have a thing where we can send in a resume to get a corporate job, except there's a lot of Starbucks stores closing, so we technically won't ever get a corporate job because there won't be a company left. And that's kind of why, like, there's certain people in international business or business schools or economics teachers or pretty much anybody who knows anything about this, they would always come in to buy coffee. Not even just because, like, oh, they need coffee or they drink coffee. They actually just come in to just pretty much support the fucking company. But one of the problems I've noticed about Starbucks is the same thing that's happening with Tencent and Riot Games, where there's a lot of freeloading motherfuckers that don't do their fucking job. And then another thing I've noticed is, how when we play solo queue, there's a lot of people who like are really, really like consistent. They're like, I believe in this. I believe in this. And then there's like these people that come and like fuck all that shit up. Right? And that's been happening at Starbucks since I got there. Cause I've noticed, like, I don't know if you guys have been watching, but since I came, everybody kind of works in like a group and like in a flow, right? That's because I know how to work as a team. And I know how to make people get along, which is perfect for a manager, I understand, or a director, or any up or whatever. Okay, I understand that. But my point is, like, you have to work as a team to work together, right? So that's why when I'm saying, like, no. See, that's where the societal stuff comes in. And that's kind of why I'm like, You know, it's fine if these people just get like a useless job continuously because they kind of need them in that position to not ask questions and just do whatever the fuck they're supposed to do. But then at the same time, like you're not really getting rewarded for being innovative. So I can kind of see why Riot and a lot of tech companies are just not hiring these people or like not giving them raises. And that's kind of why I was like, I don't know how to tell you guys to go to school because I mean, remember that one kid, thank you, that wanted a God, what is that? Prodigy kid education drop out of college, was it? Yeah, so this guy he dropped out of college. So this is one of the major problems that I have been seeing with a lot of situations is like another problem with this is say like they let one person do it but then another person's not as good, but technically yeah, exactly, programmers know what I'm talking about, so technically it wouldn't really work. And just being like, oh, it's not fair to you, and then like that doesn't make any sense, right? So in this situation I think the only reason why this happened is because their parents are probably like kind of like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, and then they play the rules by the system and then got enough money to pretty much retire and just not give a fuck anymore. But then when it came to their kid and they already have enough money, they're kind of like, well, I don't really want my kid to be put through the same thing. And my kids, you know, and their kids probably like, yeah, you know, like if I'm not going to get credit for it and I already know what happened to Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, why would I even consider doing it, you know? So that's kind of another problem that's going on, and that's kind of why I think sometimes like companies like this is actually really good, but at the same time like what are you really going to do? Like all these things are so cheap, like there's nothing you can really do. And even if you guys inflate the stock market, it doesn't really fucking matter because the shares aren't really going to change the prices. I understand you can buy more parts of the company, but it doesn't matter if the company doesn't make any profit. And if you guys do that, then technically you're going to hurt yourself because now people are going to discredit, you know, the stock market, and all that shit is actually not going to work. You know what I mean? It's actually, yeah, exactly. Thank you. It's going to do more harm than good because if you're going to tell somebody, yeah, exactly. So that's really not going to work either. And one of the main reasons why I did not want to work for Phil's Coffee or Blue Bottle, thank you, is because I told this customer, thank you, that I was like, you know, ultimately the reason why I do not want to work for Blue Bottle or Phil's Coffee is because I do not feel like I do not want to be the fucking experimental rat here. Because at the end of the day, if Blue Bottle or Phil's Coffee works, I mean, fails, then like I'm not going to have a job. And like for the rich people it's fucking great because they get to file for bankruptcy and they get to do all that. But if you know anything about the Ford factory and all the workers there who have retirement or one 401k, they never get that shit. You know what I mean? Even if they did get bailout, they never fucking got any fucking money. That's why this Detroit and all that shit is so fucked right now because they never got their fucking benefits. Like the rich people are fine. You know, they never fucking, and that's why a lot of people don't like Ford and don't like any of that stuff because they're like, dude, you're a goddamn fucking mess and I don't want to support it. So when small business owners are like, oh yeah, big corporations are all fucked up, I'm like, well, you're asking for tax cuts, so you're really not any better. And you're not really giving that tax cut back to your employees, so you're really not any better. And I understand there's a lot of rich people who do it that way, but at the same time, like, not everybody does it that way. If you consider it from like a Samsung perspective, like that shit really does fucking go back. And the tax cuts actually really do fucking go back. So, I mean, I don't really know what the fuck you guys are talking about, but this is kind of why I wanted to make it public and say like this stuff about Starbucks because you guys are like, oh yeah, you know, I'm so good at memorizing. I'm like, yeah, I've tried a really fucking long time to memorize the register and I can't because I'm not a useless motherfucker like you. So I'm actually still fucking curious how the fuck you got a salary fucking job when I can barely even memorize the fucking register. I'm pretty sure you'd be better at the register than I am because all you can do is fucking memorize shit. Right? Because the last time I checked, math is about calculating, not fucking memorizing. No, that's why everybody boycotts anything you're associated with because we all know it has nothing to do with memorization, but you keep trying to tell us what it's fucking about. So I think everybody's just done with their shit. So everybody's just going to boycott it. You have to understand, I just got here. That guy is fucking bad. Man, you guys are like, ugh, whatever, man. This is why I don't like to hang out with people who just like listen to certain types of rap because they're like, oh yeah, it's hella good. I'm like, no, no, it's really not that good. What? No, I hate that stuff. Sorry. Well, I'm good at marketing because I always wanted to open my own art gallery. So when you own your own art gallery, like you have to understand how many people rely on you and how little income you will actually have. Because even if you sell a painting, 90% of that really technically goes back to the artist. And it's not like you can have that artist fail because once that artist it goes like, yeah, this art gallery never fucking gave me any money. You think anybody's ever gonna come to my fucking art gallery? And on top of that, I'm gonna have to pay employees, and on top of that, I'm gonna have to pay rent, and I'm gonna have to pay electricity, and probably most likely water because I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, motherfuckers, you can't fucking come into my art gallery and pee. You gotta go pee like down the street. Like, yeah, sure, that's gonna work out real fucking well, right? So, I mean, if you think about it, I'm already in the minus areas, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, sell a more expensive painting. Okay, then what? I'm gonna give like $10 back to the fucking artist and be like, yeah, okay, that 900,000, that's all mine. You got to keep about five because I need about 100,000 to feed my fucking employees. Like, what kind of fucking stupid ass? Oh yeah, sorry, that was just the math part. Thank you for reminding me. So if I did open an art gallery, you really think I'm gonna pay somebody to sell the paintings for me? What? So they can just sneak some of that shit into their own fucking pocket, and then on top of that, I'm gonna have a liability lawsuit where I have to sue this motherfucker for taking my fucking money? Yeah, but if he's already working for me, what type of money do you think he has? What am I gonna sue? No, that's why I'm so good. Thank you. That's why I'm so good at like helping people with reputation and fixing their company because I'm like, okay, what if this is this person's art gallery? Then I totally know how to fix this person's problem because I know what they need. Um, um, I would like my 401k and my health insurance and my stock options, please. That'd be great. Yeah, I get 401k, and I get 401k is retirement. Thank you, and I get health insurance, and I get stock options. And guess what? There's no releasing trade secrets because it doesn't fucking exist. No, see, that's why I didn't really want to work for Phil's Coffee or Blue Bottle because I'd be like, damn, that might fall into the trade secret intellectual property aspect again. And I'm just like, honestly, I just want to work for a company I don't have to fucking like take care of. Honestly, I work for Starbucks because I like their cups and I like to drink frappuccinos and I don't like to pay for them. So I figured I might as well just work for Starbucks because then I can eat and drink all my favorite food. And I can also get cheaper cups. Yeah, I think my cup addiction is getting really bad. I'm running out of room for all these cups. How do I know all this? Did you not fucking go to school? You're supposed to take accounting in any business degree. I don't know how the fuck. Oh yeah, I forgot. All you did was copy, so you didn't actually retain anything. And yet, for some reason, I'm the one without a college degree. And you wonder why everybody fucking hates the system. Well, considering they are the 99% of people buying our shit, I think it would be a pretty fucking smart idea to consider what they want, right? You gotta fuck off, man. Jesus. Okay, share with me. You ate it. That's it. No more. You flathead. Ah! Okay, evil Pikachu, go over there. Anyone else think cats look like evil Pikachus? Because they totally fucking do. Have you guys ever seen? Yeah, cats with their ears back, right? Looks like Pikachu. And their little stripy thing on their head, it looks like Pikachu. Yeah, because you guys don't draw. Okay, why are you here? Senor. You want more food? I know it tastes hella good. I agree. I want it more too. Do I want to lose? I always want to lose. How are you supposed to learn if you don't lose? I'm pretty sure I can easily get into a position higher than you. But considering how you guys are like, oh yeah, we're just not gonna listen to Christine, or we're just gonna have a fucking protest. I don't know how you're gonna protest or not listen to me at this point. You literally have nothing left. What the fuck? I don't care. It doesn't make me look bad. This isn't my full time job. I think you need to play full time to find the. Well, that's because you're just fucking e girls, you know? Or they can just be Ride employees being like, oh, I know that's a script. Well, technically, senor, that's called revealing trade secrets and talking about intellectual property when you signed it. Oh, yeah, and this is another thing. If you're going to sign a NDA and then later on complain about it, then honestly, they should just fire you now before you learn anything else, right? And when you say that's not fair, then I'll be like, okay, so how about all these people that I work with at Starbucks that are completely fully capable of doing whatever you're doing right now, which is nothing. So if you're going to be bragging about doing nothing, then why are you then I mean as a rich person or as a person with tech family background, I mean, I don't really know why, you're better than them. Or yeah, I don't know why you're better than all these minimum wage employees when you're pretty much doing the same thing, right? Because I'm not really trying to protect you when you really aren't doing anything, and intellectual property wise, you're kind of exposing all our trade secrets anyway. So technically, legally, I don't really care. Well, if you don't care about that privacy and there's somebody else who needs that privacy, then I'm probably going to keep the person that needs the privacy. I mean, that doesn't need. Sorry, how do I say this? When people like me are doing what is right, and people like me who are working very, very fucking hard, and someone is literally harassing them and wanting the corporation to step in, then yeah, I'm probably going to keep that person. Because if they're not going to be afraid of the cameras, then they're obviously doing what's right. Right? Because you're obviously scared of something. And if you're scared of being watched, then I mean, what are you hiding? She's scripting a lot, yeah, but I haven't played this game in a really long time, so I don't know how to catch the scripts, but you guys can if you want. Well, it's not my full time job, it is their full time job, so I mean, it is free and it is public.